The Property Crime Squad commenced Operation Cast Iron on the 1st of July of this year. In that time, the office has commenced proceedings against 287 persons on 1,021 offences. There's been in excess of $500,000 in property recovered by the squad. The offences which are of note have been 2 robbery offences, where 4 offenders, 2 armed robbery offences, where 4 offenders were charged. They were the armed robbery at the subway at Bentley Park and also a convenience store in North Cairns. What I wanted to point out was that during the months of December and January, traditionally we have seen a spike in property crime offences, and police are asking residents to be very vigilant in regards to the securing of their premises and also vehicles during those months. Of note also recently we've had a few burglary offences where there's been large sums of cash taken from the residences. In those instances, the money's been stored in small safes, which has either been, the safes have either been taken wholly or they've been easily entered by offenders. And we'd just like to make note that these offences could have been avoided if the money had been stored in banks rather than at people's homes. That's pretty much it.
With say like the theft at Subway and the convenience store, often the stuff they're stealing is not sort of, it's often things you don't recover, is it? Because it's maybe cigarettes or...
Yeah, the 2 robberies, there were cigarettes taken from the convenience store, but traditionally the armed robbery offences are targeting cash at the business premises, and cash is very hard to recover. It's initially it's non-identifiable, and it's often disposed of fairly quickly. So yes, it is hard to recover those items.
And why is there a spike in December and January? Is it school holidays? Is it...
Look, there's probably a number of factors which influence that, but certainly school holidays would be one of those factors.
I think I read that there was about $500,000 worth of property that was recovered. Can you take us through what that encompasses?
It's a variety of different property. Vehicles are certainly the larger items, but jewellery, iPads, phones, bikes. It really is a large variety of items that have been recovered of various sorts.
And has some of that been returned to the...
A lot has been returned to the owners, yes.
How sort of successful would you say you guys have been? I mean, it sounds like a lot of money worth of property, but has this been a pretty successful operation? I think
on the statistics alone it shows that, where you've got 287 persons on over 1,000 offences in under a 6-month period. I think those stats speak for themselves.
And just talking about the spike again, is it also to do with the weather? Are people, perhaps people with unair-conditioned homes are leaving their windows and their doors open, making it easier to be burgled?
I don't think so. Unfortunately, and the police ask on a regular basis for people to be more vigilant in securing their premises and their vehicles, but people continually don't do that. A lot of our offences are simply through unsecured premises and vehicles, and if those vehicles and residences were locked, a lot of those offences would be prevented, and these occur in winter months as well as summer months.
A lot of people will be going away for sort of periods as well, so what advice would you have for them?
Look, exactly what I said. You've just got to be vigilant and secure your residents and your vehicles.
Has this operation wrapped up, or how long will it go for?
At this stage, there's no end date for it. It will continue. So yeah, I'm not sure, but there's certainly no set end date at this point in time.
Purely based on the success, but is that why it's sort of ongoing type thing?
That has helped.
You're obviously, pursuing offenders pretty hard. What would your sort of word of warning be to them?
Look, we always thoroughly investigated all offences that are reported to police. We're just in a position at the moment with the Property Crime Squad being in existence that we have more resources to dedicate to property crime offences than what we have in the past. So, as I said, the stats are showing that we have been very successful to date.
What's Cairns property crime sort of rate kind of compared to, say, Townsville or Rockhampton? Is it a big issue here?
Offhand, I couldn't tell you the differences in the stats. It is concerning for ourselves because, the offences are occurring here, and ideally it'd be good if there weren't any, but there are, so it is of a concern, the property crime that does occur in this region for us, but I couldn't give you a comparison with the other, not offhand anyway.
Do you have any breakdown of those 287, how many were juveniles and how many adults? Is it fairly sort of even?
It isn't. The stats that we've got is there's actually, I believe it's around 70 to 30, 70% adult, 30% juvenile.
Is that surprising, considering I suppose juvenile crime is a big issue in general?
Traditionally, yes, it is a little surprising. So
I'm surprised.
the only other thing I'd like to raise is just something a little different in regards to, there's a lot of Apple products out at the moment, and that can be iPads, computers and iPhones. Now, there are apps out there which are Find My iPhone, Find My iPad, apps which can be installed on the Apple computers. We've had a lot of success for the location of those items where people have installed those apps, and we'd certainly recommend anyone with those products to install those apps.